Vegas Dave, if you haven't watched this video yet, it's on his Instagram. It's a 15-minute video of him basically saying Gary V's wrong, he's right, that the sports market card will crash in 2084, somewhere around there, sometime before, but sometime between now and 2084. It's going to happen. No,
I think so.
Somewhere it's going to crash.
I think somebody's peeking the microphone.
But no. He came out with a video saying that the sports card market will crash in 2024. And he gave a lot of reasons. The guy makes some good points. It's hard to digest it between all the ego. And
he does make some solid points in his
He makes
video.
solid points, but there's a lot of ego and a lot of just self-justification going on in there.
Yeah.
He obviously sold a Trout card that he bought for $400,000, and he sold it for $3.5 million, which obviously maybe one of the biggest flips of all time.
But he said it was going to be
I
like.
would say that's the biggest
But he said
flip,
it was
one
going
of
to
the
be like
biggest
$10 million.
In 10 years,
But why didn't he hold on to it then?
because he's just
Because it's going to crash in 2024.
Yeah, that
But
was
how?
exactly-
But wait a second. If it's going to crash in 2024 or 2084. If it's 2084, then yeah, it might be worth $10 million.
So before we get into some of the details, I do want to commend him on his choice of clothing. Very bold. I cannot, as a almost 40-year-old guy, I'm assuming he's around the same age. I couldn't wear pink, so props to him.
Bro.
I also could not go out in public with my name not only on my shirt, but also embroidered in on my jacket.
Bro.
Could not do that.
If I flipped the Mike Trout from $400K to $4 million, you guys might see me in some pink clothes, bro. With the purse.
Look like Trippy Red and the all Gucci or whatever.
Yes.
But how many zippers do you need, though? Like, how many zippers do
Okay,
you
yeah,
need?
that's a little excessive.
There's a
on the
lot of zippers going down.
Well, you got to have a lot of pockets.
for the money.
For the
that-
money.
That's true. That's true. Maybe I just don't have enough
Yeah, you
money.
don't know that life.
You just are like, I got my 5K here.
You don't know that life when you just got that mad ducats and you have just pockets everywhere. You gotta put those dollar bills in there.
Yeah, and believe me, I'm far from a fashionista. I do commend him on the boldness of a grown man wearing pink and carrying around $1 million purse, which is what is next to him. He collects those, which are Birkins, I guess. And the only reason I know that is because of him.
So basically, he's doing a great job at marketing and content. If all of us only know what those bags are because of him,
he should get a job.
I mean,
with
it doesn't
Birkin.
really matter because one, I can't afford one, and two, I'm not a purse guy.
Right.
I'm not a. Maybe I could be, but I don't know. I don't think it's my look.
So, for those that haven't seen the backstory of the video, he basically went on air and did a preview, and he burned some 86 Fleer cards, which, first off, he burned a 86, 87 Fleer Magic Johnson that he claimed was a rookie card, which is not correct. So, right there, credibility is a little bit in the air. He then burned a Clyde Drexler. He said, hey, stay tuned later tonight. I'm going to put my full video up. So he basically says that he thinks that some of these auction sales are supremely inflated. He points out that Steph Curry was a $20,000 to $30,000 card in 2019, and it's one sold for $980,000 in 2021. And he basically says, well, Steph Curry didn't play last year, so there's no reason for that card to go up. He said the Michael Jordan Fleer Gem Mint 10 was $100K in 2020, and now a year later it's $730,000. And we all seen these. We all are like, we're blown away. And so that's why he's saying that these companies like Rally Road, these companies like the Collectible app, are buying these cards and then selling shares. So that's where I do agree with him.
Yeah, that's a solid point. Like, if you guys watch it, you'll see what we're talking about like the Wall Street kind of coming in and selling shares of buying these cards first of all, and then selling shares of these cards to drive the prices up, right?
Exactly, and those people, you have three or four, 500 shareholders that may decide to get out of it. That's fine, but the individual that is buying a card for $950,000 probably has more than just $950,000. Do you really think that that person is now going to liquidate that card at $200,000 or $300,000 or $400,000? They'd probably just rather hold on to it and put it in their casket than liquidate something like that at that much of a loss.
Got dark all of a sudden.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just proving a point that, like, if I had something that devalued that, like, just say it devalued that much, and I spent that much money, I'm not gonna take that much of a loss on it.
I think what Vegas Dave does, and he does a good job at it, is shock content. The whole burning the cards and the whole throwing out these crazy numbers. It's to get people riled up and talk about them, which he is succeeding
Because we're doing
it right now, and there's probably going to be 5 to 6 other podcasts that are probably going to run something similar.
every other podcast.
And you're going to see tons of bloggers on, Twitter, tweeting out about it and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, he's loving it.
He's getting what he's attempting to do. Like
Yes.
it's working, and that's what it is. He's just a shock content guy. I look at it. You're right. Some of the stuff he said in the last video makes sense.
Yeah.
But I can't take him seriously.
Yeah.
I can't take him seriously because I do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I sit here and do the same exact thing as he does. I sit here and I'll disagree with Doug when I just do it to make conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's all shock. It's all content. I give him props because everybody's going to be talking about him, but whatever. I mean, he's kind of a tool.
When you're talking about $900,000 cards, when you're talking about $3 million cards, when you're talking about $5 million cards, you're speaking to the collectible community of about 0.00001%
less than the 1%
of the community. I mean, I don't think there's anybody watching right now or any of us here that bought any of those cards or have enough money to buy any of those cards. So it really doesn't affect the overall economy of the sports cards. Yes, it does raise the little ones up. He does make a good point that it does raise the little ones up. But at the end of the day, and random indie made a point that I was actually going to go over anyway. The economy has been bolstered by the stimuluses, the more money going into the economy. The stock market's gone up. So just like the stock market, just like crypto, cards have gone up too. It's almost like the dollar might be devalued to the point where the sports market's already corrected itself to where it's going to be. And that's just a theory, obviously. I don't know. I didn't go to school. I'm not an economist, but I'm
not a financial advisor.
I'm not a
either.
financial advisor, so don't take any of my words as bond here. But I'm just saying, you see some of these things in the money markets, and a lot of them parallel sports cards. So I don't think there could be a few smoke and mirrors situations going on. There could be a few cards that don't get paid for, that the auctions go up. But there is real money being spent. There's real investments being made. I hate to use the word investment, but I mean, it's what people are buying these cards for. And at the end of the day, these people did not buy this to rig the market or anything like that. It's not going to continue to go up like this.
Yeah.
But it's not going to go like this either. It's not going to crash and burn like he said. It's not going to burn like he burned the 86 Jordan sticker, which
that was silly.
I would like to know if that was real. I mean, a real man would crack a PSA and burn it. But
but that card specifically, like we looked at generally a PSA 8, and the card that he burned was a raw card. If it was even the card, it could have been just a paper printout of it. Who knows? It's a $6,000 card if it's a PSA 8. He claimed it was a $20,000 card. Then he claimed it was a $200,000 card.
If it was PSA 10, right?
No, if it was a PSA 10, it wouldn't be a $200,000 card. And
we were just looking at the 8s. The 8s are like 11,000, which is crazy.
No, I think the 8s are 6,000.
No, well, they were anywhere from 6 to 11, but you never.
It's not the Jordan. I mean, it's don't get me wrong. I'd love to have one. But it's not the Jordan. It's not the Jordan you want.
Yeah.
It's out of the same set, but you're not looking for the Jordan sticker. You're looking for the true Jordan.
iconic.
I think he was, obviously with that, he was looking to make a point that, like, this is what I think is going to happen. He chose a card that obviously wouldn't, like, get people. So if he did the Jordan rookie, bro, that would have like maybe like people are angry because he burned a card in general. Like I thought it was stupid that he
Well,
burned
he
the
burned
card.
he burned like
But he burned something that was
but
like,
he burned like $1,000 as well,
Yeah.
like actual like $100 bills. He burned those, which I don't think you can actually do.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think you could burn.
I don't
money.
think you can
that's
burn-
why his video got pulled down.
I don't
on
think you
that
can
one.
burn money. I don't.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not.
But
you're
yeah,
you're not a financial advisor.
financial advisor.
I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know.
But like you said, it was for shock
You're
value.
not?
But
I'm
even
not.
then, it's dumb. It's kind of like the same situation when like that other company cut up that card for like shock value because they're like, we got this money. That's what he's saying basically. Like I got this money. I don't care if I burn this Jordan. Like this market's gonna crash. Like just like this Jordan is burning right now in front of your face is what he's trying to tell us.
Yeah, it's complete another shock value.
It's.
I was actually shocked that he said he was only $1 million. He's like, I want it to go up. I'm $1 million in. I was like, that's it. You know, I
don't
mean,
know.
I know $1
And then,
million
like-
is a lot of money,
and
but I
I-
thought a guy with a $1 million Birkin purse would have like $20 million in sports card.
And I don't know Gary V, and I Gary V seems like a nice guy. He opinionated guy, seems like a nice guy that has a lot of valid points. I don't know why Vegas Dave. I know why. Again, he's trying. It's that shock content.
He's going for the
but
biggest
he's,
name.
but
in
he's
the,
going.
in the,
He's
in the
going
industry.
after Gary V. Gary V don't want to mess with
do you
Vegas
think?
Dave.
I was gonna say, do you think there's any chance that him and Gary V are doing this for content
No,
together?
no.
I don't think. Gary V
I
would
don't.
get
I,
involved.
sorry.
Yeah,
Vegas Dave, Gary V, you ain't on Gary V's level, bro.
He's not on Gary V's
And-
level.
You're not-
you ain't on
and
Gary
Gary
V's
V
level.
doesn't do these like marketing stuff.
Yeah, he ain't gonna stoop low enough. What's he gonna do? Be like, I'll see your Jordan sticker, and I'm gonna raise you a PSA 10 Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Julius Erving card, light it on fire.
Then we're just gonna
No,
start fires
man.
around the
That's-
hobby.
That's not what the hobby's about.
But
It's-
what I also didn't like about what he was doing was he was comparing it to the subprime mortgage market, which
mortgage crisis.
I'm a simpleton. I don't understand how those two parallel. One of them is you buy a house, you put $10,000 down, you owe $900,000, $500,000, whatever. You're getting a mortgage that you can't pay. On a card, you're buying it
and you already
and
own
you
it.
own it. So how could that be comparable? The reason why the housing market went down because they were giving people with bad credit or people with no money housing and promise that it'll go up.
The only thing is that if somebody is maxing out their credit card with no intent, and they have a credit card with $1 million limit, and they're just maxing it out with no intention to pay for it.
Dang, I want $1 million limit.
I don't even know.
card,
Is
bro.
that
Do
a
you
thing?
really think that? And unless he's thinking the guy that buys the card for $900,000 is thinking they're going to flip it next year for $1.2 million or $1.3 million.
Well, he's
My opinion is I think the person that's buying the $900,000 card wants it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want that.
Well,
card.
I think they want to put their money into an asset that they think that has a good chance of appreciating,
Right.
or at least a good chance of staying flat with inflation.
You know, yeah. One thing we should probably point out too is like, there is a segment of the community and the hobby that, maybe not to the extent that Vegas Dave is talking about, but there's a lot of people that do believe we're in a bubble that's gonna crash, and that's gonna, like, prices are gonna come crashing down, and then they want it to be at the level it was before the boom.
Okay. We have been talking about a bubble every week for 3 years.
I know. Seriously.
Every week for 3 years, we're like, is it the bubble yet? Is it the bubble yet? Like, we just literally do this when it pops, we'll know.
Yeah, but there's people out there that will see that Vegas Dave's video and they'll be like, yes, that's exactly how I've been feeling for the last 5 years.
The thing is that like his such a vague thing that he said the bubble's gonna pop in 2024.
Which is 3 years from now.
So if it pops anytime
Not
before
a math
that,
genius, but
if it pops anytime before that, he can come back and be like, I was right. I told you.
Mm-hmm. But if it pops after, then what?
if it's like a year or two after, he's like, look how close I was.
Like, yeah, I
called
mean,
it.
the thing is that it doesn't.
But
take,
what would-
it doesn't take a genius to say we've been on a steep incline in this industry for 3 solid years.
Yeah.
Everybody just record prices
let's
on
ask you guys
individual
this.
cards, record prices on sealed wax, record prices at auction
What is-
houses.
okay.
It has to come down at some point.
I want to put this. This is in layman's. What signifies a bubble bursting? We talk about it all the time, but what does the bubble bursting mean? Like everybody's just gone? Like it's a ghost town in the hobby, or
nobody buys sealed wax anymore?
Well, the funny thing is that in March, we were all talking about it. We're like, well, the bubble was gonna pop, and now we're in a pandemic. So next week the bubble it'll pop, it'll be over, and we're gonna go back. What happened? What happened? It just did the opposite.
Yeah.
Because I remember having a conversation with all you guys going, well, we had a hell of a run, guys. That was a hell of a run.
Yeah.
But we're going to go back to 2014 right now.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't happen.
Yeah.
So
I think,
and the thing is that it's not going to be an overnight thing.
it's not going to be an overnight thing.
It's going to be
a gradual decrease.
Steady
But
decrease.
I mean, like, where do we need to be? That's what I'm saying. And I know there may be not an answer to this, but like, where do we need to be, like, to say, like, all right, it's over. It's bubble has popped. Today on blah, blah, blah day on Tuesday, it's official that the bubble is bursted.
March 7th, 2021. 3:33 p.m.
Just like what they say with in the financial field with stocks and all that stuff, like you can't predict the market as much as you think one way or the other. You really can't predict it. It's gonna do what it's gonna do.
Well, if you could, you would be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Well, look,
like Vegas Dave.
Read this thing. I mean, that is crazy. 40% of Random Mindy with some good knowledge. 40% of all dollars in the economy were printed in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
So you kind of correlate that with everything going down, right?
If you look at something like that, you would want to put your money into
something that's not
something that is a physical asset,
right?
Or a virtual asset,
or a virtual asset.
I mean, you're seeing these rise.
Is that crypto, or are you talking about our favorite Chinese coffee brand?
Maybe both.
I told you it was not. We're okay. It's going back up.
Hopefully.
I mean, like I said, and I started investing in the stock market in March, and I don't know anything, and I've made some good money on my investments, because my thought during all of this, and which goes back to this 40%, was, these guys that do stockbroking and stuff like that, they have X amount of money to spend, and they know if they leave it in their bank account, they're going to get passed up. Their money's going to be, instead of having, let's just say $10,000 in a year, they're going to have $2,000. But if they put it in the stock market or in an asset that appreciates, now that's caught up to where the dollar is.
It essentially runs parallel with the dollar. If the company is performing, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're already going to where, like, say, bread was $2.50 in 2018. Now bread's going to be $6 in 2022. So they've already adjusted that.
We are really close to being a $9 double cheeseburger from McDonald's.
On the value meal.
No, just the cheeseburger.
Right.
Just $9.
And I don't know what the ramifications of all this money going into crypto does to the actual dollar as well. So, you know what I mean? What are you laughing at? Maybe which one are you laughing at? Mojo Bets by Mannion. Maybe when draft classes decline, sports viewership tanks, TV and revenue dwindles, and pro sports dissolve altogether. Who knows?
No, that's not what I'm laughing about.
Luck and coffee.
Yeah,
I didn't jump on that train. Train.
That train's left.
But I am very happy with my what's that Tilray. I'm very happy with Tilray. My very low purchase of Tilray looked pretty good today, which I bought like a year ago. But anyways, wish I would have put more. But that's always
weed and coffee. Can't go wrong.
Exactly.
Again, we are not financial advisors, guys. So
yeah,
don't
exactly.
Say what,
we're not telling you anything to buy. We're just talking about what we have in our.
I don't know what you're talking. I don't have any of that. I play a stock market fantasy game.
Yes, exactly.
So that's what I do.
Yeah, exactly. No doubt. Well, you guys have anything else to add? Well, we actually have the last slide here. We want to go over, just to keep in mind, this is stuff that's on the internet, public knowledge, but this is allegedly. This is the man that's saying stuff's going to crash when he has all this stuff that's made you question his integrity. He's his $2.5 million Royals bet was won.
That bottom one.
Yeah, his 2.5 Royals bet was won with $700K bailout money from his parents. He's banned from Vegas casinos for 3 years for using other people's Social Security numbers to avoid paying taxes to place
Well, that's
bets.
not good.
He's allegedly sold a fake Jordan for $200,000. I think 3 or 4 years ago. There's a lot of stuff that, like I say, I don't know if they're true because you read stuff on the internet. You don't know if there's true, but you don't know if it's true. But there's a lot of stuff about him that if this is the guy that's good, you're going to listen to. That's all I'm saying. Keep this stuff in mind. If you go on his Instagram, you'll see a lot of posts saying he's the GOAT. It says GOAT, 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 GOAT. And if you click on those profiles, those are all private profiles. So this guy, from what I can tell, is buying comments. Buying comments to bolster his ego. For a man that has as many Twitter followers he has very little interaction with anybody.
Yeah, he is one of the few content providers on Twitter that will make a post. And how many followers does he have?
Like a million.
Do we know that?
On Twitter?
Yeah. He'll get like 8 comments. Let me put that in comparison. We have a little bit less than 10,000 followers. And when we post something, we'll get 12, 14 comments.
He has 71,000
He has 71,000. So do the math. We have 10,000. We get more comments. He has 71,000 and we'll get like 8 comments. And I think all those comments are actually they're paid for. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
I'm not
his
hating.
Instagram has 3 million followers.
Oh, it's the Instagram.
I'm not hating the game, but I think you got to get called out on it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's living that life. He's very he claims to be very successful. We don't know at the end of the day where he got his money from. I mean, probably this picture right here is where he got his money from with his folks. But he talks, he flexes all the goddamn time, and I know you should be proud of your accomplishments, but there's a lot of questionable stuff going on.
Is that him as the Terminator?
Yes. And as Scarface as well. So, but he's an entertaining follow, hate him or not. He says some stuff that makes us have a 40-minute segment on him.
Yeah,
So
we've been talking about that boy for a long time.
we've been talking about him for probably
That's
since
true.
like the first 20 episodes. We're talking about the trout. I will eat crow in saying when he bought that trout, we laughed that he paid $300 million or $300,000 for this trout. $300,000 for this trout, and there was no way that he was going to make money on that, and he did. So we ate crow on that one. He correctly did that.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, if you watch the video again, if you guys watch the video for yourselves and form your own opinion, he makes some valid points. But then it goes backwards by look at me, boasting. It's like, bro, make your point and get out of here, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Gary V ain't got time for you, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Stop putting us
Get
down.
on Gary's level, bro.
Yeah. Yep. If Vegas Dave drank kombucha, he would be more popular. I think Dan would absolutely agree with you.
I'd take
on
a
that
side.
one. Yeah. You might be Team
I'd,
Vegas
I'd
Dave.
be Team Vegas Dave
You'd
in
be
a
Vegas
second.
Dan
I'd be Vegas Dan.
right next to him
Be
with a Birkin.
Vegas Dan, Vegas Dave, sponsored by just kombucha.
Exactly.
Just on the Vegas Strip in the club, drinking kombucha, having a heck of a time.
Yeah, it just goes to show, he made his fortune supposedly from sports bets and making investments like
I wonder
that.
if Vegas Dave hangs out the El Cortez.
Probably not.
But for every Mike Trout investment that pays off, there's Derek Carr investments. I hate to say it as a Raider fan, but there's the Derek Carr investments that won't pay off.
Well, he claims because he already obviously does his research. He knows what his haters are saying. He obviously knows everybody's peppering him with this Derek Carr situation. He said he bought those so low that he's still doubled his money on all the cards he has.
I don't remember Derek Carr really being that low. I think right now is for the card value.
If
it's like
you
the
know-
lowest point right now.
I mean, to his credit, if you know when to sell, like during the middle of the season when he has a few good games, then yes, you can make money off of Derek Carr.
Did that? I mean, you watch every Raiders game. Was that a thing?
Yeah, so
He had
if you
a couple
buy
good games.
a Contenders rookie ticket auto over the summer for $4K, you can probably sell that same auto when he has a few hot games for $5K during the season, right? So you'll make $1,000.
But it's tough to look at the Raiders right now
yeah,
and be like, with no doubt, 100%, Derek Carr is the future quarterback of that franchise.
yeah.
Hard to say that.
Yeah, but I've seen specifically that example of like people buying Derek Carrs over the summer and then flipping them during the season.
And you do know, I mean, Derek Carr, let's say he leaves, like, or he gets released or he gets traded, and let's say he goes to Jacksonville. His card values are going to plummet.
yeah.
And we've always seen that when a player leaves the team that drafted him, generally his cards go down, especially unless he goes to a team, turns it around, wins a Super Bowl, and it's a high market team.
Yeah.
Like a big market team. Jacksonville wouldn't be that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like, investing heavily in Derek Carr is not smart, obviously.
No.
He's been in the league for 8 years now.
This would be, he'd be going into year 7.
Dan just bought some Derek Carr.
You know by year 7 or 8 if a quarterback is going to be
so
value is going to go up. You know by year 3.
Before we do that, like,
or 4.
So in the shop, we actually had somebody come in and sell their Derek Carr collection to us, and I bought it.
When?
About a week ago.
Where's this? I haven't seen
It was
this
like
collection.
4 cards.
It's
He acts like it's a lot.
It was a huge
4 cards.
collection. It basically came in.
chromes.
It was shipped to us on a pallet, shrink wrapped. I had to dig for it. It was 4 cards. I gave him $250.
What's in it?
Just Topps Chrome rookies that are graded, and
I'm gonna have to cop those.
a select rookie auto.
Sweet.
But that tells you like $250.
Yeah.
For like
If he
4
was-
cards. Yeah.
For 4 cards. If that was Mahomes, that'd be
$250,000.
$250,000.
Yeah.
Exactly.